today we're going to talk about how to hire your kids into your business and how to save thousands of dollars in taxes in the process. What's good, family? Welcome back to another episode of Tax-Free Living, where I teach entrepreneurs just like you how to live tax-free. And we're back again, guys. Another one, right? Another one, DJ Khaled, another one. We're back for another phenomenal episode where I'm going to give you the keys, the strategies, the gems on how to save thousands of dollars in taxes. And today's episode is one that's near and dear to my heart because one of my first clients that I had, one of my first tax advisory clients, I was able to implement the strategy in her business and change the trajectory of her life, not just her life, her family and her kids' life as well. So this episode is near and dear to my heart, okay? So I know many of you all have asked me, have DM'd me, have reached out asking like, hey, can I pay my kids for my business? If so, how do I do it the right way? And how does it save me money on taxes? So we're gonna hit on all those pieces today, but you already know what we have to do first. If you wanna support this episode, if you want us to keep dropping these gems and these lessons for you, we need you all to do a few things. We need you all to hit that like button. We need you to hit that subscribe button, right? So you can know about future episodes. And then we need you to share this with the friend. Like you have a friend that has kids and has a business, right? Sharing this episode can help put thousands of dollars back in their pocket. And you never know. They might break you off a little something for being the conduit of information, okay? So if we've ever given you any news that you can use, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and we'll get into today's episode. So before we talk about how to pay kids, the strategies on how to implement the structure, LLCs, SCorps, how to do it, when to do it, let's first talk about why it's important, right? Let's talk about the why before we talk about the how. So I've came up with 5 reasons why you want to hire your kids into your business, right? The 5 benefits of hiring your kids into your business. So benefit number 1 is going to help you save money in the business and keep money in the family, okay? So it's going to help you save on taxes in the business and it's going to help you keep money in the family. We'll talk about more of that when we get deeper in today's episode. Second thing is it allows you, if you do it the right way, if you do it the effective and efficient way, it will allow you to pass down money to your kids tax-free, okay? It'll allow you to pass down money to your kids tax-free. Reason number 3 is it's gonna help teach your kids how to work for a boss, right? It's gonna help teach your kids how to be a boss. And one thing that I love about this strategy is like, so many people don't get to spend, so many business owners, we work so hard. And due to the fact of how hard we work, we have to sacrifice time with our families, right? So allowing your kids to work in your business, you're going to be able to spend more time with your kids and you're going to teach them how to work for a boss and then hopefully teach them how to become their own boss, okay? So that's reason number 3. Reason number 4 is you're going to get a tax deduction for traveling and dining with them, okay? You're going to be able to get a tax deduction for traveling with your kids and dining with your kids. And we'll talk about more of that in a moment. Well, we can talk about it now, right? Because when your kids work for you in your business and you go out to dinner and you talk about business, that is now a business meal, right? If you hire your kids into your business and you all decide to take a trip together, and on that trip, if you find some business activity on that trip and you do it with your employees of the company, part of that trip is now a business trip, right? So we're able to write off meals and travel with our kids, with our loved ones, which I think is super dope. And reason number 5, certainly last, but certainly not least, we're able to write off gifts that we give our kids. So think about this for a second. If you hire your kids into your business, right, and they work for you, and you decide to, let's say you hire your kids in your business to do your social media, right? So if for Christmas you decide to get them an iPad, right? And with the use of this iPad, they can now be more efficient and more effective with handling your social media. You now can write off that gift that you got them for Christmas as a legitimate business expense. Like, imagine all of your kids' toys and gadgets. Imagine those things being tax deductible to your business because they work, right? So guys, one of my favorite things to teach my students is the question is not, can we write this off? The question is, how can we write this off? By coming up with creative scenarios, coming up with creative strategies on how to make more money and pay less tax. So step number one, okay? Step number one is you must have a business, right? You can't hire your kids into a business that you don't have. And I want you to incorporate that business into either an LLC or an S corporation. Can you do it with a sole proprietorship? Yeah, but it's going to increase your audit risk. It's going to make things more difficult to do. So I recommend you have a business and have your business incorporated as either a LLC or a S corporation. And we all know, well, if you don't, a LLC is a perfect entity to start out with. But at a certain point, you're going to want to upgrade your LLC to an S-Corp. And that point is when your LLC starts making over $40,000 in net income for the year, you want to upgrade that LLC into a S-Corporation. Step number two, you need to have kids, okay? Now, one of the main questions I get about this is, Carter, can it be my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my brother-in-law? No, okay? The answer is no. If you want to implement this strategy that we're talking about today, these need to either be your biological kids or these need to be your stepkids, meaning that you and your spouse are married and these kids are now legally yours as well, right? So these need to be your biological kids, or these could be your kids that you married into and be your stepkids. And they have to be between the ages of 6 and 17. Now, let's pause here for a second. There are other CPAs that have other age thresholds. Some CPAs say you can do it from the age of 0 to 17, right? I say it's ethical to do it between the ages of 6 and 17. Why? Because if your kids are younger than 6 years old, it's going to be kind of difficult to prove that they do actual work in your business, right? Now, I get it. Your kid could be a model and stuff like that. But if you own a construction company, your kid is not going to be a model for your construction company, right? So I just say a general rule of thumb is ages 6 to 17. And the reason we don't say over 17 is because if they're over 17, they have to pay SUTA, FUTA taxes, which we're trying to avoid all taxes possible, okay? So it have to be your kids or stepkids, and it have to be between the ages of 6 and 17. All right, that's step number 2. Step number 3, which is very, very important, okay? So write this down. Your kids need to be doing actual work in your business, okay? We can't say we're hiring our kids and we don't have an actual role for them to do. We need to hire our kids, and our kids need to be doing actual work in our business. And actual work could be a lot of things. It can be cleaning the office. It can be handling our social media. It can be answering the phone, right? It can be creating our website. It can be a lot of things, but your kids need to be doing actual work in your business, okay? So one of the things we want to do is we want to have a legit role for them, right? For when we hire them into our business, all right? And we have to make sure that the pay for that role makes sense, right? If your kid's a model in the business, you can't try to pay them $25,000 each. It's probably not gonna make sense, right? If kids clean the office, you can't pay them $10,000 a month. It's not gonna make sense. It has to be a legit role and with legit compensation. So step number 4 is you want to make sure you pay them adequately and correctly, okay? So what do I mean by that? So in 2023, you can pay each of your kids up to $13,850, okay? In 2023, you can pay your kids up to $13,850, and the money that you pay them is 100% tax-free to them. Let me say that again. Due to the standard deduction that we all get, right? The standard deduction in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, is $13,850. So that means that we can pay our kids $13,850 each. Their standard deduction is gonna wipe out all that income on their tax return. So essentially, as long as we pay them equal to or less than the standard deduction, they don't have to pay taxes on any of the money that we're paying them. That's why this strategy is so beautiful. And not only that, because they're employees of our business or because they're contractors of our business, we also get a tax deduction of $13,850 as well. So we get a write-off of $13K plus, and they get $13K plus of tax-free income. That's why this strategy is so amazing, okay? So we wanna make sure we pay them adequately with the right amount, because we pay them over $13,850, they gotta pay taxes on it, right? But we also wanna make sure we're paying them the right way. So this is why we wanna make sure that we document the entire process. So first, I want you to document a work log for your kids working for you, right? I want you to have, if they wanna work 5 hours a week, just have a log that they worked 1 hour a day. If they work in 10 hours a week, just have a work log, because in case of an audit, we wanna have the documentation proof that we can prove that our kids were working for us in our business. Our kids have a clear role. That's why I said give them a definite role in your business, be able to communicate that role. And I will keep a work log for how many hours your kid works per week, and then whatever compensation you wanna compensate them for that hour, okay? So we wanna make sure we're documenting the whole process properly. We wanna have a paper trail. We wanna have proper documentation in case of an audit. Now, audit might not happen, but in case of an audit, we want to be ready, okay? So those are the five or six steps on how to pay your kids from your business the right way. But now let's talk about the actual process of paying them, because this is huge, right? I see people mess this up and they can't take their deduction properly. So how do we wanna actually pay them, and what process and strategy do we wanna use? So it's gonna be different if you have an LLC versus if you have an SCorp. So I'll talk about LLC first, and then I'll talk about SCorp second. So if you have a LLC, okay, paying your kids is extremely simple. You want to pay them simply by doing a transfer from your business account to their personal account, okay? So if you're gonna pay them $1,000 a month, you just simply make sure you do a monthly transfer, or Zelle or PayPal, however you wanna do it, a monthly transaction showing money leaving your business account and being processed into their personal checking or savings account. This is gonna show the clean paper trail that we wanna be able to show the IRS that we paid our kids, right? On top of that, we don't wanna pay them a huge chunk of money at one time. So we've had people that tried to pay their kids $13,850 one time in December, right? That won't work, because you can't prove that your kid did $14,000 worth of work in 1 month. So we wanna make sure that we're spreading the payments out month over month over month. If you wanna pay them week over week, you can as well. We want them payments to be spread out throughout the year. And if you have an LLC, it's as simple as transferring money from the business account to the personal. Now, if you have an SCorp, things are a little bit more tricky, okay? Why? Because an SCorp can't technically have kids, because it's a corporate structure, right? So since the SCorp can't have kids, we have to do a workaround so we can properly pay our kids from our business. So if you have an SCorp, what you're gonna wanna do is first go set up a family management company. And this can simply be done by going to a bank with a sole proprietorship, getting an EIN, and letting them know that you want to set up a bank account. Don't go to the bank, tell them you want to set up a family management company. The bank teller is not going to know what you're talking about and their head's going to explode, okay? So you want to go to the bank and say, hey, I have a sole proprietor and I have an EIN, which are both free, and I want to set up a business bank account. This is going to be your family management company that's going to be the conduit to paying your kids. So once you have this family management company set up, you then pay the family management company a management fee from the SCorp to the family management company. Then the family management company takes the money and pays it directly to your kids. You're gonna have a transfer from your business bank account to the family management company, from the family management company down to the kids' personal account. If you do this correctly, you'll be able to pay your kids from a S corporation as well. So that's it, guys. Like paying your kids from, if you have kids, employing them in your business to get all the amazing benefits, and then you want to pay them for the tax deductions on the business side, but also the tax-free money to your kids. Like stop paying taxes and then spending money on your kids, because now you're spending money on them with after-tax dollars. Instead, pay your kids from your business so they're paid with pre-tax dollars, and then use those pre-tax dollars to then pay for the things that you have to pay for them anyway. Right? We're going to spend the money on your kids anyway. Why not use pre-tax money instead of post-tax money? So if you like this episode, please, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.